Hello, welcome to the Daily Political Tarot Readings here on the Black and Orange channel. Thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it. I have a new pin. I'm concerned at what this is going to, all the holes this is going to put in my clothes, but oh well, because we need it. Anyway, thank you for being here. Just having a look at the chat. I've got 12 questions for today, and I'll go through them, and we'll see what else crops up. But I am here at 365 days of the year to take your 12 political questions at noon. Just put your questions in the chat between 11 and 12. And then during the live stream, anytime you're talking directly to me, please put anything in all caps. Anything in the chat in all caps is how you communicate with me. Other than that, please type normally. People have whole conversations and are really supportive of each other and greeting each other and all, just being very friendly. So, okay. Here we go. Mary is saying it is a beautiful day in Boston. I'm glad to hear that. It is a beautiful day in Chicago. It is about 74 degrees Fahrenheit. I know the rest of you and the rest of the world are going, what is that in real money? I don't know off the top of my head, but it's 74 degrees here in Chicago Fahrenheit, and it is lovely. It is a sunny day. So, all right. Let's do the thing. Oh, if you're watching this on replay, the links are in the description box. Okay, so you can just pick and choose what you're interested in. And 10% of my income from everything Black and Orange goes to Feeding America at feedingamerica.org, which supplies food to food banks across the country, and that is an ongoing thing. Moving on. Okay, at 2:30. Oops. Okay. We're going to cook with gas today. 2:30. Ms. Cat M had a question. There are a couple of questions left over from yesterday. Your questions are very important to me. Will the January 6th presentations, the hearings, the January 6th Select Committee hearings, be enough to wake up the good citizens of America? Good question. Will the January 6th hearings be enough to wake up? Hello, people. Come on. Your democracy needs you. Put your socks on. Put your shoes on. Your democracy needs you. How the hearings, will it fire people up? I get a little uncomfortable when things seem too good to be true. When readings seem too good to be true, the air energy feels too good to be true. This feels really good. The energy on this feels really good. And what it feels like is... I told Dasher to go back to his dock a while ago. Anyway, what this energy feels like is we are going to be horrified. There are going to be times when you're going to be so upset that your stomach will just turn. So and this is important. Yes, this is going to light a fire under a lot of people. But let's see here. Hello, Snow Wolf. Yes, Deseret Autumn was saying we have to trust. Knight of Pentacles. There are some Republicans, they're not even going to watch it. They're not going to watch it. They're not going to pay attention. They're a lost cause. And that's just how it's going to be until maybe all the way through the possibility of some people being arrested or tried or what have you. 9 of Pentacles, 7 of Swords, 4 of Cups, 7 of Pentacles, King of Pentacles. This is all the other side who are, the energy is so male. Anyway, obviously we have allies. Obviously, obviously there are good men in this world. I'm not saying this is all men. I'm saying these died in the wool Republican men, and they are just, oh well, tried to steal the election, didn't work, move on. Not going to listen. They're not. Nope. Man. So, what about of course there will be that group who are just, oh well. We're mostly, mostly white men. We do what we want. And that's not true for all white men, of course. But these guys, the January 6th people, the people who are sympathetic to these to the insurrectionists. Ugh. But what about the rest of the country? There's so many things that Trump did wrong and hurt us in so many ways, but one of them is desensitizing us to a lot of awful things. Oh, it's political, yeah, But once you actually sit down and start listening, it gets very upsetting. I've actually gone back and I started spending a little time, not much, but a little time actually listening to reaction sort of after the fact and commentary after the fact of January 6th. And I had completely forgotten that Pence went along with going state by state and saying, are there any objections to certification of the state? That's not usual. You're not supposed, that's not a part of it. Pence just started doing that. And then when someone would say yes, he said, is it in writing and is it signed? And the person would say yes. And he would say, all right. And you could hear a couple of Democrats groaning. And then Republicans, one person clapping, and then the rest starting to clap, and then all of them clapping enthusiastically. And it was only basically when Pence was sort of rushed out of the chamber in fear for his life, and everybody else was in fear for their lives. I think we forget that Pence was not this, well, I talked to all these people, but they said I couldn't do it, so I was not going to go along with any part of this. You did. You did. I've heard the tape. It's right there. You did go along with this. You did add steps to try to decertify this election. The fact that you didn't in the end, after you were afraid for your life, no. That's no. So you forget about all this stuff, all these details, all of the fiction people have tried to spin about themselves. It was appalling. Those heinous guys who holed up in that hotel, and they had filled their hotel rooms with ammunition and a month's worth of food and water, and they were just waiting for the call. One of them, in the information uncovered, one of them was an Overwatch, which meant was on the roof with a sniper rifle in case police attacked the hotel. So, yeah. Knight of Swords. World. Empress. Eight of Cups. Seven of Cups. Yeah. You will find out who the sneaks are. Megabyte is saying Pence is a sneak. Not snake, I like snakes. A sneak. Yeah. And the fiction people have tried to spin, and some have successfully spun. There are going to be a lot of people really worried coming up to the hearings, because it's kind of been building up for a long time, and then most of the country will be riveted. They will. There are some Republicans who will be walking away, but they are going to lay out the evidence. So, will there be arguments day by day? They could have put this better. Oh, they should have explained that better. This today wasn't quite as exciting as day 4 and 5, but hello, Petrus. Have a great day, Disrat. Yeah. So, I usually do extra cards for the first question. Oh yeah, the Ted Cruz thing. There aren't any questions here about the Ted Cruz thing, but it's just frustrating. I don't think they're going to ask people to show up for the public hearings who they don't already know what they're going to say. I don't think they're going to pull up a Jim Jordan or somebody during those 8 hearings, and so he can sit there and Renia is suggesting he's going to be yelling, "I don't remember." Yeah. 8 of Wands, 3 of Swords, Queen of Cups. Whew. All right, Knight of Wands. The news agencies on the right are going to go into overdrive to try to salvage, and there's all the fake talking points they came up with before about it's Nancy Pelosi's fault. No, it's not, because the hearings themselves are going to be devastating. All right, and we're moving on to Flower Power had a question. I absolutely love this question and how it's worded. At 14 minutes in, Flower Power was asking, what is Rand Paul's purpose? And I understand that you're asking, why is he doing the things he does? What does he gain from treating others as he does? I understand that. But when I first read it, my brain just kept thinking, what is his reason for being? What is why does Rand Paul exist? Why Rand Paul? Why Rand Paul? How Rand Paul? Where Rand Paul? Ugh, yoy. Lost a card. Hold, please. Here. Oh. Yeah. The cult. Why Rand Paul? What does he gain from treating others as he does? Holly in France. Why do mosquitoes exist? Teresa Ford says, well, to bring back the perm, right? That must be what I'm doing wrong. Seven of Swords. Stick his thumb in the eye of everybody. Everything doesn't go back to high school, but there are some people who don't really seem to evolve from it. Happy birthday, Nikita. Happy birthday. Yeah. He's that kid who he liked tearing other people down. A little bit here, a little bit there. Give him a little power and he could do a little bit more. Because he just had this, it made him feel like maybe he had some importance on this earth. Because he's not much. Seriously. If it wasn't for Ayn Rand, and as awful as Ayn Rand was, she had significance. If you take the Ayn Rand out of Rand Paul, what is there? Not much. He's a selfish little troll. King of Cups. Hierophant. Nine of Cups. See, the words I'm coming up that I'm thinking of just to describe him are words I don't want to use on the channel. Ten of Pentacles. Two of Swords. Well, first of all, strict Ayn Rand followers, let's just say they aren't exactly cuddly parents. I mean, if you think about it. And, well, this just has to do with Biden government, Democrats being in charge. So he'll make choices for the Republican establishment, and he considers himself more establishment. How do I put this? Establishment in the terms of having been there for a long time compared to some of the ultra right-wingers. So he's petty. He is petty. He feels very small inside. He's got to be a bully to make himself try to feel better. Dave says the right like the art of selfishness. It makes them feel righteous and superior. Yep. Jen Glenn says, I've always picked that up about Rand. He wants to feel like he's somebody. Well, there's really, seriously, underneath that perm, no, there's really not much there. There's very little there. Sherry H., hello, is saying Rand Paul is a spoiled little boy trying to live up to his daddy's accomplishments, cough, cough, and be somebody important. Ding. Yes, indeed. All right, at 20 minutes in, JR had a question. Oh, gosh, I have not thought about this person in a while. Those were the days. Okay. Not much longer. I wanted to think about her that much longer. JR's question was, how long will Ghoulaine get sentenced? Ghoul. That's how it is. If those of you who are new, that's what I call her. Ghoul. Ghoulaine. How long will Ghoulaine get sentenced for? Will she get the max? Oh, there she. Yes. Oh, there she is. I'm not. I wouldn't waste my breath. I wouldn't do it, but I'll tell you, I get around her energy and I just want to spit on the floor in front of her. Vince Foster saying the judge just lessened her sentence? Really? I thought she wasn't being sentenced until June. Late June. All right, Ghoulaine. Yeah, I definitely would spit on the ground in front of her, and that's not very much like me at all. I'm a big believer in you keep your bodily fluids to yourself. I'll keep mine to myself. We're good. One of my biggest pet peeves is people who lick and then they hand you the paper, and it's my boss. One of my bosses did that, and she's handing stuff out, or like both even, and then hand me the paper, and it would be like, thank you. Yeah, I tried not to make a deal of it, but inside I'm just like, why would you do that? That's gross. Stop that. Ew. Page of Wands. Oh, that's a message. What's the message? I don't want the plot to thicken. I want this woman to get the maximum sentence. Kika 357 says Maxwell is giving up more names. Trafficking involved. Vince Foster says she'll be sentenced for only one of the 3 charges, and off of the one, the judge took 10 years off of it. Why? What? I've been calling her Ghoulaine, so it takes me a second to remember what her name actually is. Ghoulaine Maxwell sentence. May 2nd. She could now be sentenced for up to 55 years in prison. But she has reduced the judge has reduced her maximum sentence. This is so gross. Mary is saying she must be spilling some amazing tea. Oh yeah, Sherry H, it is Ghoul Plane. No, I don't want that. No, I don't. Wait, quit it. Quit. Okay, sorry. Computer's not listening to me. Let's have a look at the news. I'm back. I'm over. You can't see me, but I'm over here. Federal judge reduced her sentence by 10 years. A week ago, she was moved out of solitary confinement as she awaits sentencing. She will be sentenced to only 1 out of 3 conspiracy charges. But the judge will not overturn the conviction. What the heck? You are a monster. And U.S. District Judge Allison Nathan concluded that while there's sufficient evidence to convict Maxwell, she can only be sentenced for 1 out of 3 conspiracy charges, as they essentially count toward the same crime. This legal conclusion in no way calls into question the factual findings made by the jury. It underscores that the jury unanimously found 3 times over that the defendant guilty of conspiring. Okay. So I'm not going to read the charges that she was convicted on. It's just gross. That's the summation. And all told, Maxwell now faces up to 50, or this says 50, the other place is 55 years in federal prison, brought down from 65 years in prison. Well, she's still, okay, she's going to, that means she's going to die in prison if she does the full time, with a final determination to be had on June 28th. Okay. So, 4 of Cups. 10 of Cups. 9 of Wands. 9 of Pentacles. Justice card. She's still, okay, the remorse this woman has, 0. 0 on the remorse. That's what this feels like. This is any kind of appeals by the victims. These are the victims, the families of the victims now made as whole as possible. The amount of pain and grief that's been caused. Plus, there's some men who are still worried, but she still thinks this is her. They say that her solitary confinement for 2 years has been torture, literal torture. Really? No, what you were convicted of is literal torture. You sadomasochistic, anyway, heinous blankety blank. But justice is going to come down on her, and it feels like it is going to fall hard. So I'm not getting a sense that she's... Now, I don't... With the prison system the way it is, even if she got convicted for 50 years or 55 years, there's no guarantee she would actually be in all that time. But at the same time, yeah, remorse, Zippo. And I think she's going to prison, and I don't think she's getting out anytime soon. Yeah, it actually feels more like this. Her only being 1 conspiracy charge instead of 3. It actually feels like this has something. This is so she has less to appeal on. That's what it feels like. Snow Wolf says actually isolation is torture. Oh, I know isolation can be torture. Oh, I'm fully aware of that. There are a lot of people in isolation in this country who should not be. And certainly not for the lengths of time that they're in isolation. However, this woman was convicted. I'm not saying allegedly what she did. She was convicted of doing these heinous things. Victimizing children. I don't want to hear how her isolation was torture. Please. Please. Considering what she did. 3 of Pentacles. This is a plan. This is a legal plan to get her, to keep fighting the charges, to try to get herself out of prison. This woman she is a psychopath. Sociopaths my understanding is that sociopaths tend to be the more impulsive actors. Psychopaths are much more sort of quiet and calculating, manipulating. She is a psychopath. She feels no empathy. None. It's not there. There is 0 empathy on this woman. Even now, I mean, I forget. Silly me. I know. There's this little part of me that always wants to see the best in people. And I have to sit down and have hard conversations with it sometimes. But this woman is a psychopath. So Snow says, not saying her case it was unwarranted, but no, I understand. We're in agreement here. If I'm sounding it's at her, not any of you wonderful people. Queen of Swords, Magician. I mean, if you go into some people's energy, I mean, you go into Ghoulaine Maxwell's energy, it's like wearing a Horcrux. Moon. Page of Wands. Okay. She still thinks her lawyers can do something, but the feels like the law is about to. Yeah, she's going to get a long sentence. That's the sentence. It's the message, the sentence. It's going to be a long sentence. That's what I'm getting. But she still thinks. And her family are just in total denial. She's such a sweet soul. She's so wonderful. She's such a good person. You are being manipulated, and you have been all of your life. Congratulations. Melissa Miller says, good. I'm with you. Okay, let's move on. Let's get out of this. All right, 32. Eileen had a question. 32. Is there anything that will make the GOP admit that more realistic and sensible gun laws are needed? I like that you're asking this question. Because like I said, there is that part of me that always wants to find the good in people, is always looking for the good in people. There will come a point, there will be enough school shootings. Oh my gosh, Carol, thank you. Thank you. There will be enough school shootings that they'll come to their senses. There will be enough massacres in public places. Is there anything that will make the GOP admit that more realistic views on gun control are needed? Page of Swords. Bullies. Oh, so many bullies. Excuse me. Shea Kitty saying if the shooting at the baseball game where the Republican representative got shot, if that didn't do it, nothing will. Pretty much. And Carol says you're welcome. Thank you again. Page of Cups. They're not listening to those little wussy. Why? Two of Cups. Look, I believe in self-defense. Totally. And if you are a gun owner, that's your thing. Good for you. I don't have a problem with that. It's when you have an arsenal. It's when, well, let's say it's when you have an arsenal and you don't need one. You know, if you have a particular, job where you are likely to come under attack, I can understand that. Some people have jobs that put them at risk. I can understand that to a point, but nobody needs Nobody needs an AK anything. AK 0. That's what they all need. An AK 0. King of Swords. High Priestess. As Democrats gain more power, more sensible gun laws will happen. But there will be better laws in place, but there will still be people in secret who have stupid amounts. I don't know. Sherry H says when a school of white children were murdered and they didn't do anything, then they're unreachable. Yeah. Yep. Man, oh day. By the way, in future, what I do get, even people of moderate wealth in future will have personal robots. That's what I get. It's going to take a while, but even those of moderate income are going to have personal robots who fetch and carry and organize and, and, they're going to be these kind of shadows, and it's going to be, you see them all over the place. It won't even matter. And robotics is coming in a big way. And those our robot companions will be able to protect us. Oh yeah. Yeah. This whole, there's a guy who broke into the house. That won't even be it may be in the poorest of places, but in general, I'm seeing, even, like I said, even moderate people of moderate income will have, and certainly anybody who's living in a nice house, don't even try. Melissa Miller, will the robots be armed? No. There are going to be some really strict laws against that. Let's read on that. I need to get out of that Ghoulaine energy and this heinousness. Let's just at 37:30. Well, 37, because I was talking about it a bit. So, future robot companions. All right. Have a look. That's a thing. I love sci-fi. I love things about the future. And people who say, "Oh, do you want to go to the past or the future?" It's like, future? What? Past? Heck no. Don't you want to know what happened here? No, I don't care. I want to know the cool stuff that's coming. Linda Johnson, but they will not be programmed to kill. Very much so. But they will be able to incapacitate, hold somebody. All right, future robot companions. Okay, this is not important, but one of the things they're going to be taught is how to pet the cats and the dogs. So the animals will, at first, be like, what is this? What is this big thing? But then they'll come to realize that it's like, oh, attention. It started with our phones. It's the cars of the messenger. It starts with our phones. It's going to evolve from there. I love this kind of stuff. This is the kind of stuff we talk about on the monthly patron tarot social too, because I love this stuff. 6 of Cups, Knight of Cups, Oh, wow. Oh my gosh. It'll help people so it'll help people who have disabilities. It will help. Oh my gosh, there's so much good that could happen here. 5 of Wands, 8 of Wands, Queen of Pentacles. I know there was one police district area, whatever they're called. I'm sorry, I forget. Precinct. That was it. Where they had a robotic dog who was able to go in to deal with kidnapping or a bombing or something, but it was one of the four-legged ones. And apparently, it was freaking people out, and so the precinct gave it back to the people who had created it, who I guess were saying, "Hey, you can use this for free. We could use the PR and the testing." I'm just like, are you crazy? It looks kind of scary. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? That's a bomb robot who's more can get into more places, climb stairs, get around, go into situations, save lives. Looks scary. Oh, that. Look, I realize it can look a little freaky, but no. And they're going to improve the motion, so it looks more. Just the motion, so it just there's still a robotic efficiency in the way modern robotics works today. So, love Tulu, thank you. Melissa Miller changed the way it looks. Yeah, you could do that. Renya, and no real dog will be harmed. Exactly. Joanna's saying, I won't say her name, A, begins with an A, talks to you somewhat. I don't have one, but my daughters, if I say thank you, A, will say things like, it's my pleasure. Oh, I don't want to lose the habit of being polite, so I'm always saying please and thank you. I have to say A's name first and then say thank you. But yeah. Linda Johnson says, I want technology where we can get our fur babies to be able to talk to us. That's coming. It's coming. Robotics. Again, it's going to, of course, it's going to be the people who have the most money who are going to have the top of the line, but they're also be the first ones to get the better models. But there are warfare applications. There's a lot here that does good, so people don't get hurt. Whether it's fires, searching buildings that are on fire for potential survivors. Helping people who are handicapped or hurt in some way. Yeah. There's a lot. This is the card of a lot. And that's what's coming. And I don't know that, the movies like I, Robot, good movie. But of course, they need to come up with a villain and they need to come up with a premise for the movie. So there has to be some evil. They did it for the evils. There's a great website called TV Tropes, which talks about types of stories, the tropes that different stories deal with. And they use a lot of very funny expressions. And one of them is basically you have a bad villain when the villain has done whatever they've done just for the evils, and it's EVILZ. So, they have to have an evils. But there isn't, it's going to be more, eventually there'll be some laws, I suppose, in places, but it's just going to be more common sense. You can't kill humans. You can't kill, you can't kill humans maybe at all, or unless it's a combat situation, obviously that's different. You know, you have to care for others. The old, was it the first Mad Max movie where they had trucks, long distance trucks that were automated? Definitely coming. So, all right. Kika says a girl trained her cat to read words. Ooh. Frank is asking Stepford Wives. Yeah. Yes and no. There is an app you can download right now where, in theory, you can have somebody, a bot who will be your friend and text you. Robots are kind of messy. Sorry, human beings are kind of messy. Dealing with a robot is easier, but you also don't. It's not quite the same. There could be some real problems with isolation, at least until we get more used to things. So, yeah. All right. So I guess we'll go back into the icky energy. But thank you for your patience on. Kika says too many bots already. Oh, Kika. This is nothing compared to what's coming, I'm afraid. Katie Arbuckle says it's a different mess. Yeah, that is a different mess. But at the same time, we're going to have so many people leaving the planet, and between people leaving the planet and people just not wanting kids. I mean, I don't have kids. Or just not having kids. The population that's on the planet could perhaps go low enough to be sustainable. But Frank says, but what will happen to tarot readings when the bots take over? Oh, there's going to be a whole other thing. That's a whole other discussion. We absolutely need to talk about that at the end of the month on the 28th, week from Saturday. Yeah. Okay, so Frank, yeah, I don't think you want Roxanne, home health aid bots. Yeah, it may sound bad, but if you need help, it also, you know, you've got your privacy, where you don't have another human being helping you do something that you can't do yourself. You just have a machine doing it. The machine doesn't care. Okay. All right. One other quick thing. See, you're going to see my hairbrush. Oh, the shocking. You're okay. How you doing? Hello, boo-boo. You doing okay? You doing okay? You're a good boy. Good boy. It's okay. He was disturbed. Somebody has gotten home. Somebody got home, and it's disturbing the kitty because the window's open. But anyway, just wanted to share. All right, back onto the breach. 4930. Martin Winter had a question. 4930. Will Turkey prevent the entry of Sweden and Finland into NATO? Cute. Baby Boobas and Kitty. Yes, Roxanne. Sherry H says, after 10 years of caring for my mom, home health bots will be a godsend. Yeah. Hello, Becca. We were just talking about the coming robot companions who will be helping us out. It started with the card for the reading was the Page of Wands, which is the messenger, which is it starts with our phones and evolves from there. So anyway, but right now, 50, 30. Will Turkey prevent entry of Sweden and Finland into NATO? Oh, Turkey, don't be so awful. Thank you guys for being here. Judgment. See, I think Turkey's going to be under quite a bit of pressure to go along. It doesn't necessarily mean they're going to go along with it, but there's a lot of pressure. 5 of Cups. King of Swords, 4 of Cups, Magician, 3 of Wands. Well, this would be a determination. We're seeing what's happened in Ukraine, and if Putin had been successful, I don't think he would have stopped at the edges of Ukraine. Personally, it feels like they're going to try to be a stick in the mud, but they could end up with some of the other members of NATO making their lives more difficult. This feels like a huge amount of pressure. Like, oh, you're not gonna go with that, huh? Okay, well, we'll just have to go look at our trade stuff anyway. All right, see you later. Yeah. So, Suburban Housewife says inflation in Turkey is very high. Okay. Thank you, Eileen. Pressure. I'm just getting pressure. Queen of Swords. That feels like NATO. High Priestess, 6 of Swords, 10 of... It's negotiations. If Turkey using it as leverage to try to get stuff, or if they aren't going along with it, other countries turning I'm just getting they'll be pressured into it. They may go complaining all the way, but yeah. Frank is asking, how much would a home health care robot cost? Most of us couldn't afford one, I'll bet. Oh, no, they would be incredibly expensive, but that's now. In future, I mean, who would have thought that we would have a phone we could walk around? We could check our banking and do the and. Yeah, so it's coming. All right. 55. Oh, God. Yeah, that's important, but we've got a couple of Supreme Court questions, and I am going to sneeze. I'm going to go I forgot to get my air filter. That's the problem. I'm so sorry, but trust me, you want me to go get my air filter. I'll be right back. Oh, what? Say hello to my little friend. There we go. Okay. Oh, it's a big yawn. Oh, that was a big yawn. Yes, it was. All right. Thank you. Oh, 4 megabyte. Bless you. I was at the allergist this morning to get my shots. They asked how things are going. I'm like, I use Flonase and I take 3 Zyrtex a day, thinking about 4. Oh, jeez. Oh, jeez. So, Kika's saying bots will have more rights over humans. I don't see that any more than our phones have rights over us. We're just willing. We're willing slaves to our phones. Clarence Thomas. Oh, we're going down in the muck, my friend. My friends. Clarence Thomas blamed the leak for the people not trusting the Supreme Court. The leak is why people don't trust the Supreme Court. That's what you're going for, huh? That's really okay. Kika was asking, why is he allowed to talk? I'm with you. And as far as the leak goes, I will reiterate. Oh, you mean someone didn't respect your privacy? Such a shame. Anyway, so, but I kind of want to know. So, why is Thomas allowed to talk? He's one of the justices. He's full of himself. I'm a little bit more concerned with, does the leak even matter ultimately? What difference will the leak make, if any? Kika, I agree. Clarence is a joke and not a funny one. I'd say that Clarence is like a Trump joke, except Trump doesn't try to tell jokes, does he? He doesn't laugh. I literally cannot picture that man laughing. Trying to think. I've seen him smile. He looks like a vulture. Clarence Thomas. Okay, the burden. All right. Kika's saying no, the leak doesn't matter. Death card. 4 of... This feels like back in the day, being a Supreme Court justice, I'm not saying it was an easy job, but it was kind of a cushy job. You had a lot of people working with you. You had a job for life. Janelle says Trump only laughs at people. But I don't think I've ever seen him actually laugh. Which is probably good because all the plants in the room would die. But anyway. 6 of Wands. Temperance. 5 of Wands. Ooh, that's a whole lot of Wands. That's a whole lot of far right. In a way, it's good that we get to talk about this ahead of time. So we can make plans. We can emotionally try to work our way through this step by step rather than just falling on us all at once, because this is the cushy job, and they're carrying death in their wake. And they're about to sling it out at us. Far right victory. And what do you mean, temperance? Try to get far right voters out voting, but there's American people aren't going to put up with this. The leak, it's just helping us cope emotionally. That's all I'm getting. Catherine Rodriguez, Snippy's jokes were always at someone else's expense. Someone in a wheelchair, disabled in some way. Oh, yeah. Oh, and he says when he was telling people, he was, what was it? Sorry, I got distracted. I can't remember. Sorry. All right. Okay, breeches and stitches. I love that. Has a really good question, and we are at 102. You guys are having fun. I so enjoy doing this with you. Breeches and Stitches is asking, basically, will women strike? Women may need to go on strike in all forms, like no cooking, no cleaning, no anything. Then the GQP may get the message, women's bodies aren't theirs and theirs alone. Are theirs. Women's bodies are women's, theirs alone, not something to be ruled over. Thank you. Thank you. You will be seeing a lot of this button this year. Vote for women. It's actually a replica of a sign from way back when. Oh, thank you, Kika. All right, so, okay, women. I'm woman, hear me roar. In numbers too big to ignore. Helen Reddy, I believe that was. Am I correct? Oh, that's right. It was the bleach thing. You're right. Where he was telling people to drink bleach. Don't do that. And he later said, I was joking. You weren't joking. You pathetic, sad excuse of a human being. Jeez. All right. Are women going to strike? Card for the reading is the death card. This is as serious as a heart attack. Seriously. This is deathly serious and awful. Oh, and right underneath it, death of women. Sorry to say, this is where we're going. For a couple of years. Year or two is what I keep picking up on. Knight of Pentacles. Oh, we're going to be so angry. Hanged Man. 5 of Pentacles. Of course, it hits the poor the most. Hierophant. Hermit. More shutdowns. More things being shut down because of protests. Telling women you're being selfish by protesting, the economy needs to recover, You can't keep your job if you're going to be out protesting. You have to remember the women and what they gave up for, to even just give us the vote to write. The vote to write. The right to vote. And so, will women go on strike? I've got protests, big protests, people being arrested, screaming, women in the streets just screaming in anger, chanting. Janelle, you've got a point. Yeah, Mercury retrograde. Yes, it's on my ascendant. Thank you. It's hitting me. Yeah, and squaring it, basically everything in my chart. Yeah. But there are going to be a lot of protests. I wish I could ask my mom to make me a pink hat with the ears. But she wouldn't make one for me. There's no way. Marie Henson says women know how to protest around a work schedule. Yeah, but I think this is going to be bigger than that. I think there is going to be some upset. I think there are going to be more marriages ending, more relationships breaking down. It's also going to be, there's going to be some nice stuff in there too. There's going to be, some kind of group daycare, as it were, where mothers going together to protest and bringing their children with them. So, yeah. Please let this not happen. Please let this not happen, but that's this part of me talking. 108. Okay, we're going on to midterm questions. No, eighth question at 108. All right, so 3 leading GOP candidates, if you don't know, the nicest people, running in Pennsylvania. 3 leading GOP candidates running in Pennsylvania were all present and proud of their attendance on January 6th. Really? Doug Mastriano, Kathy Barnette, Teddy Daniels. They were all present and proud of their attendance on January 6th. Will this end up costing them at the polls? You would think. All right. Pennsylvania nut jobs. My aunt and uncle live in Pennsylvania. I was born in Pennsylvania. My mother's from Pennsylvania. She grew up there. Well, having been part of the January 6th insurrection, or having been there on January 6th, will that hurt them at the polls, especially considering we're about to go through the hearings? Knight of Wands. active far right, fighting for well, what is it? There's Make America Great Again. There's Make America Great Again, which would be MAGA. But there's something else that they say that the way to make fun of it is to say Magoo. Make America Great. Be two O's? What is that? Magoo. All right. Oh yeah, they're strength. I've got an 8 of Pentacles. I've got the Strength card. I've got the 9 of Swords. A little bit of worry. 10 of Cups. That's Democrats doing better. And I've got a Fool card. This is delusional. This is delusional. This is, yes, fighting for they're going to take away all of our blah, 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 blah. The deep state, the state's against us. Everybody's against us. And then worry, because Democrats doing pretty well in Pennsylvania is what I'm picking up on for what it's worth. And then I've got these idiots thinking that this is a good thing. Why would this be a good thing? Do you guys watch FBI? FBI and FBI Most Wanted. I tend to wait toward the end of the the season, and then I'll just like binge watch them. And I just got through all but the latest episode of FBI for the season, and I'm still working through so far the season of FBI Most Wanted. And there's one of the episodes about, I'm not giving anything away here, but the upshot is there is an episode that's dealing with these idiots who are thinking there has to be a revolution and Trump's going to be put back as president, and it doesn't matter what happens to us being arrested or anything, because Trump will get back in and he will pardon us all. And you're just like, wow, that's right. There are people who believe this garbage. That's sad. Katie Arbuckle says I watch crime dramas with my mother. Whew, okay. All right. 113. Greta had a question. 113. Katie Vance versus Tim Ryan in the Ohio U.S. Senate race. Well, I have only begun looking at the astrology. From what hang on, let me grab my binder. There will soon be much more in this binder, but for now, in the front, I have got, oh, you're fine. Oh, you're just fine. Yes, you are. You're just fine. I have my, just starting. And in Ohio, astrologically, preliminary only. Senate, J.D. Vance versus Tim Ryan. So far, at the moment, it's looking astrologically, the energy astrologically maybe favors Vance a little, but not it's much of a muchness. But I will be looking further at all of these kinds of things. All right, so let's look at the tarot. Oh yeah, Katie Arbuckle, lots of NCIS. Yeah. I watched that until the last NCIS I watched was when, I'll just say Gibbs and his boat. I'll just leave it at that. But apparently there's been much more since then, so at some point I'll probably have a great day, Marie. Laurel Sorensen says, I have a rainbow one you are welcome to, or I will make you a pink one. Oh, bless. Thank you, Laurel. That's sweet. But I don't know. I'm gonna try to figure out. But thank you for offering. That's very sweet. So 1:15:30. Okay, so we'll do Vance versus how is Ryan going to do in the Ohio U.S. Senate race? How is J.D. Vance going to do? Tim Ryan, U.S. Senate race in Ohio. J.D. Vance. King of Pentacles. Five of Cups. Seven of Cups. Magician for Vance. Well, his arguments aren't that great, but he's able to see standing up there. All right, Tim Ryan. Sun. Ace of Pentacles. There's a lot of money pouring in on this race. Star. If you should just show me these cards and say who's going to win. Right there. They have the support. They've got the money. They've got the attention. This is disappointment. Trying to make the other side point out the illusions on the other side, and this is standing up. But these are cards of someone who's going to win an election. These are not so great. But it's not going to be a blowout because the card for the reading is the sheer amount of money that's going to be coming into this race and the advantage the Republicans are going to have because of the amount of money coming into the race. That's what I'm getting. So, read a sun and a star. Gary, I was trying to not give any spoilers. Anyway, all right. Next. 118. Greta had a question. Will John Fetterman be okay from his stroke? Oh, will he win the Pennsylvania U.S. Senate election? Because my understanding is he had a mini stroke, but he's recovering. Let's see what the latest news on this is. 14 hours ago, New York Times reporting John Fetterman recovering after stroke before his state primary. But says he's well on my way to full recovery. Okay. He's got some facial hair. Bless. Fetterman. Janelle says, I think he'll be okay and win also. Joanne says the primary is now. I voted for him. Thank you for voting. Thank you for voting, Joanne. I really appreciate that. Queen of Pentacles. Four of Cups. Two of Swords. Star. Five of Cups. Seven of Cups. That's a really good card for him. There's going to be a lot of money coming into these races. And a lot of Republican money is going to be coming into these various races, and trying to get people to refuse the democratic ideas. But this is an election. This is choosing. This is voting, and this is a star right in the middle. And then disappointment, they couldn't kick everything down, and then this is related to this, trying to knock down whatever the Democrats are pushing or doing. But I've got a star right in the middle, and I've got people at the end here still trying to weaken the Democrats, the Democratic message, which to me would say there's a Democrat around for them to be complaining against. Well, we're under a lot of stress and strain. Greta's saying Chris Van Hollen also suffered from a stroke. Oh, bless. From Maryland. He's doing fine. Oh, good. Thank you. Thank you, Gary. Yeah, this is a time of a lot of stress. Angie's dad says, unfortunately, in Pennsylvania, if you register as an independent, you can't vote in the primary. John Fetterman. I don't think you can hold this guy down. Big stretch. Empress, I'm required by law to say big stretch whenever he stretches, or if he has a big stretch. Ding, 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 ding. America, voting. Democrats. That's what I'm getting. All right. 122. Linda Johnson had a question. It's most vexing. 5 states with Republican officials are being investigated for tampering with voting machines and ballot readers. The incidents took place in states that have been competitive in recent elections. 2 incidents occurred in Colorado, 3 in Michigan, 1 each in Ohio, Pennsylvania, and North Carolina. There have been 4 of the breaches were forced. 4 of the breaches forced election officials to decertify or replace voting equipment that was no longer secure. Linda Johnson's question was, will they find this happening in more red states? I'm just, yeah, how much of an issue is this going to be? How much of an issue is this going to be with Republican? Some are voters, concerned voters, some are election officials, messing with the machines, ballot counters, you name it. Because for possibly the midterms, certainly the presidential race in 2024, it's just huge energy of not conflict, rancor. 7 of Pentacles. Well, we have the votes. Yes, Trump. Yes, Trump, you were ahead until they counted the absentee ballots. They're still ballots. 9 of Pentacles. 5 of Cups. Well, if all you listen to is Fox News, you're going to think Democrats are idiots and nobody's voting for them, and it's only people who want to destroy the country vote Democrat, and blah, 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 propaganda, garbage. 2 of Wands, 6 of Cups, and 9 of... We're still going to go out and vote. Communications, they're going to be protecting communications. These officials and these disgruntled voters. These are basically heinous people who are trying to question the election. If I can just get into the voting machines, I can prove that it was stolen. No, you can't. You don't understand the machines. You don't know what you're talking about. And yeah, you're just destroying the machines and invalidating votes. That's it. Trying to knock everything down, but they can't. People will vote in great numbers. There'll be a lot of mail-in ballots too. But people are going to be worried. Okay, were things messed with? Did somebody get in? I like that I've got a paper ballot that they scan and then keep. That is my preferred method of voting. Megabyte said, my older son is interested in political science, and when he was in middle school, he asked what was up with all the fear-mongering, so we watched a few segments of Fox News together. He said that after that, he'd be scared too if that was all he watched. Linda Johnson says, I read yesterday that Mike Lindell hired 70 people to do more of this. Yeah, I heard something about that too. So this is going to be a thing. But they can't possibly have won. They can't possibly. I didn't vote for them. Nobody I know votes for them. Hierophant, 10 of Cups. Government. Votes. These are all the votes. These are the people on the committees. These are the people in going into office. This is us going down to the Garden Center on Saturday and being happier because we've got a Democratic government. They're going to freak out, but the votes are the votes. They still want their alternative facts. No. All right. And last question for today. 127:30. Linda Johnson had one more question. Oh, about Desantis. 127:30. Desantis. Gay Santis. Oh, yes. The election police. It's kind of like the Space Force, only more Nazi-ish. Desantis has hired a group called the Election Police. America. Will they try to stop legally registered voters from voting? Also, why also try to take control of voting machines and ballot readers? Let's see here. Florida's Election Police, only state in the union that has that now. Only state. Pray, oh pray, for Lori from the Way of Positive Change. She lives in Florida. My other aunt and uncle live in Florida. They've lived there for decades. Election police, America, yeah. Are they going to wear brown shirts, or did they get the full Hugo Boss SS uniforms? You would vote for me, Ava? Knight of Swords. Oh, the police. Knight of Pentacles. Page of Pentacles. Five of Cups. Queen of Pentacles. DOJ is going to land on their heads. It feels like they're going to do some stuff, and the DOJ is going to wall of bricks. Kafunk. Oh yeah, they are out to aggressively make sure that Democrats aren't voting, and to kick down as much as they can, and then say, see, Republicans won. Oh, they're going to question all kinds of stuff. I also got the head of the new guy who's going to, he just came in and he's actually going to be in charge of the election police. I read on him yesterday. Can't remember his name. Oh, Cord Bird or something. I think is that the right guy? He's in charge of the election police now. I would not trust that man as far as I could throw him. I got absolutely lie to your face. Yeah. Yep. This could very well be a thing. Eileen says, I'm in Florida. It is really bad. Seeing Biden for prison signs. My dog is smarter than Biden. Don't blame me. I voted for Trump. Sorry. I didn't. Megabyte says, I'm in Florida. Please, no one give up on us. Oh, we're not giving up. It's definitely a swing state. We have a lot of electoral votes to fight for, more than any other state except California and Texas. Oh, absolutely. Any more information on the election, please? Are the DOJ going to fall on their heads? Star. If you want to be a part of the union, unless you want to secede, you've got the federal government supersedes states. King of Swords. 6 of Wands, 3 of Wands. Yeah, they're going to mess with stuff. Yeah, they're going to try to mess with stuff. And then they're looking off in the distance. It's like, okay, who's going to complain? They want the DOJ to complain so they can send whatever issues are going to the Supreme Court, who they think now, since there are those people on those justices in place, will side with the state, and the state can do whatever it wants. Yay. Cruise ships. King of Cups, Queen of Cups, Fool. Yep, they have a plan. I don't think it's going to work, but they have a plan. Okay, but we are done for today. So we can just let it go. Stretch. Relax, sort of. At least move on to other work. Housework, work. Cuddle your furry friends. Hug your friends. Hug your family. And just remember, we are in this together, and there are good days ahead. All right? It's 1:37 p.m. here in Chicago. At 4 o'clock, I'll be over on Book Art Media to do creative sprints. You are always welcome. I don't make any money from it. Not selling you anything. Just bring any creative work you do, and we just focus on our projects, our individual projects for 25 minutes at a time. 3-minute breaks where we just try to encourage each other. It's that simple. So, all right, hang in there. And I will absolutely see you tomorrow. Take care.